Okay, so for question number 2c, alright, you would have done up the turning points, okay, the x and y intercepts already. I want to show you that for equations with perfect square, there's actually another way to find the turning point, okay? So very quickly, 1c is a U-shaped curve. Okay, once you've gotten the x and y intercept, label, okay, and now turning point. Okay, to find the turning point, previously when the two x-intercepts are whole number or fraction, okay, you notice that I just take the two x values here and take an average of it. But now what happens is that you notice that the values are not exact here. Okay, so is there another way to find the turning point? Answer is yes. Now remember this, when I look at the turning point from the graph over here, I notice that on the y-axis, okay, the turning point here is the lowest, meaning y value is the least, the smallest. Okay, lowest y value here is the smallest. So I go back to my equation now. The mission is to find what is the smallest y value. Okay, that is possible. Let's start with the right hand side first. Now x can be any value, negative or positive. Now what happens is that when I square the values inside, all the values will become positive. Okay, so now the thing is this, if a negative, let's say inside the bracket is -5, it will become 25. If it's -100, it will become a positive 10,000. If it's +5, yes, it's still 25. So my question is, if negative value become positive and positive, it becomes, the values increase, what is the small value for this bracket here? The answer is 0. Okay, why? 0 square will still give you 0. So you notice that for me to get the smallest y value, the bracket on the right hand side must be equal to 0. I need all of us to understand this. To find the smallest y value, the bracket here, the perfect square, must be equal to 0. So we need to remember this turning point for perfect square equation like C, where I see this perfect square, right? To find turning point, instead of finding average of x, I can let the bracket, the perfect square, be equal to 0. Okay, so first time here we'll do it together. So x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, let me change that color. Okay, so therefore my x will be equals to 3, right? Can you find y value now? Okay, sub in x equals to 3. Notice that the bracket will be equals to 0 minus 2. So the smallest y value is -2. So turning point, okay, will be 3, -2. Okay, using the previous method I taught you, where to find turning point, find the average of x, you will not be able to get the exact value 3 and -2. Okay, which is why for perfect square, there is this second method here. Okay, so it's 3 and -2. Alright, remember to label the equation of the graph. I leave that to you. Okay.